We're actually muted at the moment just for the purposes of the sound quality, but we will unmute you all to let you ask questions later. I think we're waiting for a few more, aren't we, John? So we'll just give it a minute or two. You never know, do you, with registrations, whether everyone will come or not, but this is a good crowd. You know, somebody said on the last week with the youth one, if there was only one person, I'd run the course. So it's the same for the training. There's always 3 team members, so even if there was only one of you, we'd run it. It's a really lovely evening here in Dublin, but we've had torrential rain. I don't know if anyone else has had torrential rain during the day, but we've had torrential rain here and hail even.
I'll tell you what, Tanya, I've just realized that I have disabled people to be able to unmute themselves, but if you are going to be doing the icebreaker, that is probably a good idea that I enable people to be able to unmute themselves. So, yeah, otherwise Tanya will be sitting there on her own, trying to break some ice with herself. So you should be able to unmute yourselves there now, guys. If you want to test that, you can do that.
Well, it allows us to greet each other.
There you go.
Exactly. Welcome, William.
Lovely. Well, I'll tell you what, Tanya, I think we could probably get started.
Yeah,
if you like.
I think I'm going to get going. And just to say, you're all really, really welcome here this evening. And I genuinely mean that. I was a little bit nervous before we started, but looking at you all, I've seen you for some of you for 2 weeks now, and seen you on prayer calls and training. So you're actually becoming very familiar friends. Welcome, Sister Felicity. We're here this evening, and just to say, William and myself, we're running the season, your host this evening, and we would normally be in the same room to run a marriage course. It does really help. If you look at Michael and Angela as a test case there, they're doing exactly what you should do probably as hosts of the marriage course, which has been the same window. But for the purposes of this evening, William and I are in separate rooms so that we can manage breakout rooms. But I would encourage you, if you're running a marriage course and you are a couple, to be in the same room. Well, the way we start marriage courses is with an icebreaker normally for a marriage course, and I just thought I'd just do a little test of on a few of you with our icebreakers, and then I'll tell you how the evening will run. So what we do, I think you may have done icebreakers on the youth course, but what we did for the marriage course for icebreakers is and I have a document that I'm very happy to share with you where I wrote them down, but we try and pick something that's very neutral, that doesn't put anybody on the spot. The whole point of the marriage course is that anything that is personal or private is just discussed between the couple. So in this sharing moment, it just has to be something fairly neutral. Like, where did you meet, and you know, how long have you been married, or what's your favorite place, that sort of thing. What's your favorite movie genre? But this evening I'm going to ask you, and I'm just going to pick on a few of you, so you've been warned. One of the favorite one, this was John's favorite one when he was on the course, which is, you're shopping for movie snacks. Would you prefer sweets, chocolate, or crisps and savoury? What type of flavour or brand? So sweets, chocolate, crisps, savoury, and give me a name of a brand if you have one. So Dan, if I was to ask you that, movie snacks, sweet or savoury?
Popcorn all the way.
Popcorn all the way. Savoury or sweet popcorn?
Savoury. Yep.
Savoury. Nice, very nice. Alan, would you mind me asking you, sweet or savoury? Do you have a brand?
No, savoury all the way for me. Carbs and more carbs. So yeah.
Particular flavour?
Oh, anything really. Yeah, I'm not fussy.
Right, thank you. Julie, would you tell me?
You caught me unawares, even though you had warned us. I'd probably go the savoury, something like Pringles, sour cream and onion, something like that. But And my husband is the same, thank God.
Well, that's an interesting one, Julie, because when we had the couples on screen, we often found out there were some really big variations in taste for movies themselves, never mind the snacks. I'll go for one more, see if I can find somebody who's has a sweet tooth. Father John.
Good guess. M&M's all the way.
Nice. We'll all remember that now when we're visiting you. Thank you very much. That just gives you an idea on screen. A screen can be incredibly impersonal, as you know, at times, and you can feel that you don't know everybody. I have to say, if you do that one by one, going around the room, just actually asking people, literally box by box, ask the people, that really helps. And I also would send the icebreaker in advance in the email that would give the link for Zoom and tell them the theme for the evening. I'd pop the icebreaker in that so that people had a chance to think rather than putting them on the spot. But you would be surprised, over the course of the weeks that ran, we actually felt like we got to know something of each other, even though the purpose of the course is to strengthen and enrich the marriage and the relationships themselves. That did allow for the feel of a course together. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm very excited about this evening. We've got some great interviews coming up with people who've run the marriage course. We're going to showcase the video for you. We're going to show you how to register a course, and we're going to break out into rooms and you can ask any question. And like we always say on Alpha, there's nothing too simple and there's nothing too complicated. So relax and enjoy, and hopefully there'll be a time for you to ask anything you'd like about the course. So we're going to kick off with an interview that William is going to chat to. Sorry. That tells you everything about online ministry. It's very messy at times. We're going to kick off with an interview. William's going to interview Michael and Angela, and Michael and Angela won the first marriage course that we ran last year, and we feel like they're friends now, and we've never actually met them in person. William.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is lovely to be with you all, and great to be able to interview Michael and Angela. Michael and Angela, I do have some deep questions for you, but before I begin those questions, just introduce yourselves and tell us where you're based.
We're Angela Smith. We are based in Wexford, the sunny southeast, and our church is Wexford Christian Community Church, based in Wexford town.
Fantastic.
We're classified rural. Yeah.
We're also classified as blow-ins because we're from.
Well, likewise, snap. Well, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about your most recent experience of the marriage course.
Our most recent actually experience was back in March. We started the February, I think we started the marriage course actually, and it ran until March, and it was absolutely brilliant. We enjoyed every minute of it. We weren't sure how we were going to do it, but as you know, we got in on one of your marriage courses first to see how you were doing it, and started picking your brains for the icebreakers and things, which was absolutely brilliant. It made it a lot easier for us going into something we'd never done before. We were going to have, originally we were going to have this at our church and have people come down to the church and put the food on and do the whole shebang the way it would normally run. We were getting concerned with the lockdowns that were coming in, that we thought we'd better plan to see if we can do this online. And of course, once we spoke to yourselves, you and Tanya, it made it so much easier. And as we got into the first and second and third week, it became much more simple to run. And I'll tell you what, everyone really appreciated it. We've had some absolutely blinding feedback on this from everyone that took part. And I would highly recommend the online course to anyone.
To the top and stand at the side.
Yeah, no, that's really, really encouraging, guys. And were there any difficulties, I mean, challenges doing online in the sunny southeast in a more rural from a more rural context?
I think for us, our Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy, to say the least. But if I remember, maybe God sat on the airwaves then, because we were quite okay.
It was everyone else that was having
yeah, I think it was everyone else that had the issues, the challenges. But we found that opening it up online, we were able to, I think we only had about 3 Irish couples and 1 from South Africa and about 4 from UK. So we were able to be more far reaching, and geographically we were able to touch more people than just if we had it in a little hall in Wexford. Yeah. And I think that was a great benefit.
Well, and actually it was what I was going to invite you to talk about in terms of the opportunities doing marriage course online, and you've, Angela, that's absolutely right. You can reach parts of the world that you just wouldn't be able to doing it on site. Were there any other benefits that you found or opportunities that opened up running the marriage course online?
Yeah, I mean, we found it was for us, we felt that the couples were a lot more comfortable because they're in their own homes, and they could have interaction between themselves and be comfortable, and also be able to express themselves to each other and tackle difficult issues together without feeling that they're being watched or heard or overheard or whatever. One of the feedback, because we had some feedback, and a lady was saying that we wanted to do one of the courses before, but it was definitely God's timing. It was a great experience. We really felt relaxed from the beginning and loved the layout in discussing a different theme every night. We also loved the examples from the couples and the videos. We thought it actually worked better online as there was no traveling. We could do it in our own homes, and we could concentrate on ourselves more as a couple. So that was great feedback.
In addition to that, William, we people, because they're not in the environment, say in a church or they're in a meeting room, physically, if they wanted to talk about anything, you know, when you have that breakout session and the video's on pause and they're talking amongst themselves, they don't feel that anyone is overhearing their conversation. They can mute themselves, they can switch the video off, and they can have a private conversation and then come back in when they see the screen, saying, you know, the countdown, giving them a warning that the video is about to start again. And all of that, the whole structure was absolutely brilliant. Well put together.
Yeah, oh, that's really encouraging. Thank you. And what would be one piece of advice you might give to church leaders or people in a church who are thinking about running the marriage course online?
I would say do not get trapped in the way that we used to do things. Everything on the earth has changed. Everything. You've got to be open-minded and have a willingness to learn, change, and grow. We have to consider that nowadays a lot of what we have is what we do is being done online. And I always like this statement that God asked Moses, "What have you got in your hand?" We have the internet. We've got the facility to do all of these things, to make use of Zoom, make use of other platforms, social platforms, and we must make the ultimate use of it, because God's given it to us that we can reach the world with His word. And part of the marriage course, I believe, is part of God's word. After all, He invented the institution of marriage, didn't He?
That is so helpful, and I love that picture of Moses and God's question to him, what have you got in your hand? And I think that's really helpful. So yeah, no, thank you. And just to say again, I mean, of course, we've got to know each other online.
Yes.
I was just thinking it would be so wonderful when the day comes and we can actually meet in person.
Absolutely,
and there's so much to talk about. Well, listen, thank you both very much. While you were just speaking there, that question I put to you, when I put that question to myself, one other thing occurred to me as a church leader, and I did it on it may actually have been the marriage course that we met on. It may have been the one after, but I suddenly had a brainwave to contact all the couples I've married in my 10 years here in Killiney. And I just emailed them all. That's all I did. I emailed them all, said we were running a marriage course online, and we'd love them to come on. And actually I got a really good response.
Excellent.
From that, and people I never would have had any other reason to contact again. Often married youngsters come through and they either move to another part of the world or church isn't for them. But suddenly I felt able to offer something that was really genuinely valuable to them and they wanted to do. And by extension, then I could do that with baptism couples too. Often people bring kids for baptism, but they have really no intention of becoming members of the church. But it's another pastoral contact. You can say, hey, we're running a marriage course. It might be of interest to you.
Yeah,
so,
it's yeah. I think I did that. I sent it to many of my contacts, many of my many married contacts in the UK, and one lady that I'd met online through Twitter was in South Africa, and she came on, and she was a bit worried that this is going to be one of those long, laborious things. But she said it absolutely helped their marriage incredibly, and it was not what they expected, but they loved it, and they want to now run the marriage course in South Africa.
Those are the sorts of things, and it's life changing, isn't it? And life giving. And I think one of the things like you guys have discovered, one of the things I've discovered this year is the way it is transformative for people to have their marriages enriched. It goes so deep, doesn't it, for us?
Yeah.
So brilliant. Well, listen, thank you both so much. That was enormously helpful. And I think Tanya's now. We're going to be handing back to Tanya, who's got something else for us.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was so helpful. It's lovely to hear from you and how you ran the course. It just occurred to me just to say as well, I didn't really introduce us, but William and I'm also on the Alpha team, but we ran a number of the Alpha Suite courses last year, and over the last year we would say, this is a bit of an admission to you guys now, that this was the easiest course to run. As leaders, this is the easiest course to run, because once you've done your icebreakers and you've welcomed everybody, it really runs itself, and the only small groups you have are in fact the couples themselves. So it is actually an easy thing to do. And I'm going to show you now just how to access the videos. But it's worth also saying, John, would you like me to say this at this point? I don't know if you would, but it's also worth saying that the videos run. John's going to show you a portion of the video to a pause. There's a leader's guide that comes with this, and it suggests, and also on screen, it will give you the time for the pause. But online, we actually cut those back in order to get the course ourselves into an hour and a half. So don't be afraid to tailor make the timing to suit you. So when it says 10 minutes on screen, you might want to look at the questions and think that's only 7 minutes for us, because we're actually adding it all up here to make it fit for an hour and a half. And just encourage everybody to speak to each other. They live with each other, hopefully, so encourage them to speak to each other and carry on in their own time. So I'm just going to share my screen and show you here. John will show you after this how to get to this website. It's the marriagecourse.org, and you head in, and as you would with an Alpha, you build your course, which John will show you how to do later, and you head to the videos, the episode 1, and they're all there. Everything, as always, is really well done by Alpha. And you download the video, you head to download, you click download, and there's all the formats you can use. If your broadband isn't terribly strong, we would encourage you to go lower in the SDs rather than up to sort of movie quality there, because you're not in a hall. And if you want to send the link or share the link, with people, you click share link at the bottom, you click copy to clipboard, and then you can paste that in to emails to encourage people to watch that. Or I might be wrong there, actually, John. I might be saying something completely wrong there. But you can paste that into an email so that people can watch it if they miss it, or if they want to catch up again, they can do that. Has that satisfied the techno thing? I can't believe I was given a technical bit to do there. John's going to show you the video now.
Welcome to the marriage course. We're so glad you've made the decision to join us, and we hope you'll not only benefit from, but also enjoy doing the course.
The aim of the marriage course is to strengthen the connection between you as a couple, or to restore that connection if you feel you've lost it. My name is Nikki.
And I'm Scylla, and this course aims to equip you with the tools to build a healthy marriage. We want to encourage you, whether you've been together for a short time or a long time, whether you're in a good place as a couple or you're struggling, whatever your situation, you've come to the right place.
Over the course, you're going to find out quite a lot about us. So we thought we'd start by telling you how we met. I was 18 years old. I just left school and I was going on holiday to Southwest Ireland. I arrived at Swansea Docks in an old green Mini and joined the queue for the car ferry. I was fascinated by this girl trying to peel a sticker off the car immediately in front of mine, and I sat and watched her for several minutes. Then a great friend of mine suddenly appeared at the car window and said, "Nikki, I want you to meet my friend Scylla." And she introduced me to this girl peeling off the sticker. Well, I became even more intrigued when she spoke to me. We ended up next door to each other on holiday for 2 weeks, and I fell madly in love. But I didn't dare say anything, just in case she didn't feel the same way.
I too had fallen for Nicky, but I also didn't dare say anything to him in case he felt nothing for me. Then, the day before I was about to leave to go home, there was a group of about 15 of us, all teenagers, playing a game in this huge old Irish house with all the lights off, called Bear in the Dark. Spelt B-E-A-R, as in the animal, just for the avoidance of any doubt. And Nikki and I just happened to find each other in the dark, in a room at the far end of this house, which was really my plan all along.
Actually, I think I engineered it.
Well, however it happened, that's when we had our first kiss and discovered that our feelings were mutual. So we started going out, and then 4 years later, we got married. Our experiences over the last 42 years have been typical of many couples. We've moved house 5 times, we've lived abroad for 3 years, we've experienced the birth of our 4 children together, Kirsty, Benj, Barney and Josh, as well as all the hundreds of broken nights that followed. We've known the exhaustion and the joy of having young children, and also the worries and the fun of parenting teenagers. Our children have all left home now, and 3 of them are married with children of their own. So we know what it is to be parents-in-law and grandparents. We've had times of illness and financial uncertainty, as well as times of really great shared memories and lots of laughter.
Our marriage has been an adventure of changing and growing together, continuing to get to know each other better over the years. And one thing we've learned is that marriages need to grow. They can't remain static. This is one of the universal principles about marriage that this course is built on, principles that are relevant to any couple anywhere. And during each session, we're going to be hearing from couples who've done the marriage course all around the world, as well as hearing from relationship experts and psychologists on the topics and issues we'll be exploring.
And we're confident that as you engage with the material on the marriage course, you'll find out more about what your partner thinks and feels. Whether you've been together for 1 year or over 40 years, there's always going to be more to discover. And it's only as we continue on this journey of discovery about each other that we stay connected.
Now, some of you may still be wondering what you've got yourselves into. And people generally have two fears about doing a course like this. One fear is that they'll be required to reveal intimate details of their relationship to other people, and they don't want to do that. The second, and often the greater fear, is that their partner will be given the opportunity to reveal intimate details of their relationship to other people, and they certainly don't want to risk that.
And if that's you, you'll be pleased to know you won't be asked to discuss anything about your relationship with anybody else. Instead, we'll be pausing at various points to allow you as a couple to discuss issues that we've raised. And for many couples, these conversations are the most useful part of the course.
So, you've heard a bit about us. Now, we want you to turn to the first conversation in your journal and spend a few minutes thinking back to the first time you met. Tell your partner your strongest memory of that first meeting and what it was that first attracted you to each other.
Thank you, John. That was good. That was a really excellent introduction. Actually, it's the beginning, and to reassure everybody there that nobody has to speak to anyone except their partner. And they referred there to the marriage course journal. This is something that everyone will need on the course. So you need 2 for each couple. Each person in the couple needs 1 each. At Alpha Island, we've produced these. This is the book. There's plenty of these available. You can order them from us, and we can send them directly to you in Ireland. And they just were referring there to the pause and the bit where you would talk to one another. So that's the first section, strengthening connection. And so all the way through, there are places to write and journal and talk to one another. Everything is guided through that. So there is a structure to the conversations. They don't just mention topics and let you away with it to make your own mind up about things. It's really well crafted, and I think they've taken the advice of psychologists and marriage experts to craft that. So what obviously on a marriage course, there aren't really breakout rooms. The breakout room is you, the couple, yourself, talking to one another, as Michael and Angela said. Just on the last marriage course that we ran, we were helping another church to learn how to run it, and a couple who wanted to be facilitators on that course, one of them on the evening of the marriage course was in Northern Ireland every Tuesday, say that it was. And actually we managed to create a breakout room for that couple to be together to do the marriage course. So she would take the marriage course journal up to Belfast with her while she was with her mother, and we would create a breakout room just for that couple to work through the book together. So actually we gave them a date night, even though they were actually apart from each other that night. But generally you don't need to create breakout rooms. You literally just pause the video and advise everybody to turn to their book. But at the moment, just so that you can ask any question that you'd like to ask, please feel free to ask anything technical or practical now. We will just head into a few breakout rooms so that we can facilitate that discussion.
Lovely.
Welcome back. I don't think we lost anyone in transit there. Hope you had a good time in your groups. We had some great questions, and I'll speak a little bit more about that at the end, but it's great here. I have never met Ingrid again. She's one of my online friends, but it's great to welcome Ingrid now to speak to us. Ingrid I think you're a parish worker in Holy Trinity Church in Rathmines. Is that right, Ingrid?
That's right, yeah. I'm well, officially I'm staff and operations manager. So yeah, we have a staff team there of kind of 9-10 people, and yeah, there's a lot going on. It's a growing parish, and we have, you know, from babies right through to a 103-year-old. So yeah, it's a lot going on, and yeah, probably.
Wonderful. And once again, Ingrid is somebody who I've only ever met online, unfortunately, but hopefully in the fullness of time. Ingrid, I know that we, William and I and you, we were in a fight to who would run the first online marriage course in Ireland, but we actually, I think we all started on the same night, so there were no winners there. But why did you run the marriage course online in the first place, Ingrid?
Well, I think for us, we had planned in 2020 to do an alpha course of some kind in the parish, and then COVID hit, and yeah, we just really didn't know how we were going to keep connection within the parish, and we were probably about 6 weeks into lockdown when I got an email about the alpha marriage course running online, and I had a quick look at it, and I think because we were talking in staff in relation to how we could keep connection in the church and what could we do now, and you know what were all the parishioners going to do, I just receiving that email came at a great time, and I suppose I was also wondering, what was I going to do in my job? And I love to plan, and I kind of got this and I thought, wow, this is going to be a great thing to get stuck into and run, you know, and invite people in and do it well. So yeah, that's why we ran it online. Yeah.
And when you say you like to plan, and what did your team look like that you gathered around you in order to run this?
Yeah, so we had 3 couples. So I kind of made the decision that it would be really good to have a few couples hosting, so as that we could have one couple that would welcome people as they came online, and then maybe another couple would kind of look after the technical side of it, and then the third couple were just there to kind of enjoy it fully for the evening, you know, and engage. And yeah, so, and I also think it's nice for people wanting to join to have recognized couples within the parish, and that they would feel safe with, you know. And so yeah, so we had 3 couples that helped and joined weekly. Yeah.
Brilliant. And how did you get people to sign up to actually participate on the course?
Yeah, well, I think that's a good question. I think communication is a key element. I think good communication about the course is vital. So we did up a slide that gave specific information, just that there were going to be 3 couples from Holy Trinity joining and hosting. And yeah, we detailed in the slide that it was suitable for people that had been married, you know, a month right up to 40 years. And also I think specifying that there wouldn't be any group sharing on that slide. And we publicize that on we have a weekly newsletter that goes out, and we have a website. But I think we probably got the most people joining because we actually just picked up the phone and we rang people. And yeah, we just rang couples in the parish, and it was a great opportunity to have a little chat at that time, because people were looking for connection, and you know, they weren't going out much, and it was actually really nice to have that chat and ask them, would they join, would they like this? So yeah, that's kind of, we ended up with 23 couples actually that joined, so it was good.
Well, that's a great number. I think we had the same at the same time, and I think it's a very core principle, I think, to anything that Alpha runs, particularly any of our courses. The personal invitation is really key, and especially in pandemic, must have been great to reach out to people that way. And just in terms of the experience and the feedback, did you hear from people after the course? Do you have much to report back from what they said?
Yeah, we did. We did a survey at the end of the course, and we got some great feedback. You know, everybody really enjoyed the course, and they got a lot out of it. And it was a great time for them to just spend talking about their marriage and taking that time, especially when, you know, there was nothing else to draw their attention. So it was really, you know, good during a pandemic to be able to spend time as a couple doing that. And yeah, we part of that survey, we just felt during the icebreaker bits each night that there was a bond and a friendship was starting to develop from people and couples. And I suppose normally running the marriage course in person, you would have an opportunity to have a meal together and that kind of thing. So that was one question that I posed at the end of it was, you know, would people like to meet another couple or host another couple in their home for a meal? And actually the feedback we got from that was really good, and people were absolutely, you know, really on for hosting and like attending another you know, a meal with a couple from the course. And it just worked out really well, because actually there was a break in the lockdown where people were able to do that. So yeah, there was
that's great.
Yeah, we went for dinner and we had people over here, and yeah, it was really nice actually. So those, you know, that just builds friendship and connection. Yeah,
that's a really creative way to end the course. We did think about having a social actually at the end, and with that in mind, Ingrid, would you, even in a post-pandemic world, in a non-lockdown world, I know one of the Alpha slogans was pause Netflix, try Alpha. Would you still encourage people in a non-lockdown world would you run it again online, or would you run it in person, do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely better online, and that was a question on the survey that I put as well. And yeah, 90% of the feedback was that people preferred it online. I think, you know, it's to do with the comfort of your own home. It's we had one person feedback in that their partner was quite shy, and actually in a group setting wouldn't have felt that comfortable. And they may not have signed up had it been in a group setting. So, you know, I suppose that facilitated that, as well as just, I know Mike and Angela spoke about people from other countries being able to join, you know. So yeah, I just think there's many benefits, especially, you know, for families, you know, couples with maybe babies to put to bed, and, you know, you don't have to travel anywhere. Yes.
Thank
Definitely.
you. And imagine as well, we had couples, I imagine, coming, if we ever get to commute again, you know, if you come in and you've had your meal and you have to turn out again, or maybe you wouldn't have had a meal, but just turning out again, that helps. Ingrid, that was so helpful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Really appreciate you sharing that with us this evening.
No problem.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Tanya. I'm just going to jump in here, if that's all right, just to try and look to show you where you might be able to find everything that you need if you were indeed to go and run a marriage course online. So one of the key things, as was shared by Tanya, is that if you're going to run it, you would need the manuals. I don't have them in my hand, but you can imagine that they're there. Tanya might hold them up so you can see it. The manuals there, which are helpful. You need 1 per person, so 2 per couple, and we have them, you can get to us via Alpha Ireland, so info@alphaireland.org. We'll put everything into the chat box there, so you can get in touch with us, but everything that you need is on there. Now, so that there is a cost for those manuals, just to kind of go with the printing ones, but the actual videos themselves have been made available for free now. So this is a course that you could technically, if you have your Zoom subscription, be able to run it for free. So you're not necessarily having to put on 42 chicken curries and all that type of stuff that might need to go with it. So online allows you to be able to maybe do this a little bit more cost effectively. So where you would find the videos, you can go onto our website, which is here, which is alphaireland.org. I have that in there, you'll see. So we have a new website that was just launched today, so there might be a couple of little glitches, but we promise that everything will be absolutely perfect in a couple of days time. So this is alphaireland.org, and this is our new website that's here when you come into it. So when you do that, you'll see in the top left hand corner, you'll see courses and the marriage courses. You can click on that there, and that will bring you through to this page all about the marriage courses. And on that, you'll see run the marriage courses, a handy little button there. And if you press on that, it will bring you to this. I'm just going to pop this direct link. So if you have any problems at all, there's the direct link to it there. So you're brought to this part of the website. If you don't have an account, you can sign up there, and that's just the basic information that you'll need. So it's your email address, your name, where you are based, and all that kind of thing. Just to let you know, this is not yet linked up to the MyAlpha thing, so you will need a new password and email address to kind of get into this one. So it's a little bit different, but you'll just log in when you come back in and you have everything set up. And this will be your dashboard. So any courses that you have upcoming will be here. As you can see, I have one imaginatively titled Test. You can call yours something a bit better. So whether you want to call that, you know, your Wexford Christian Community Church, or whatever it is that you would like to do. So down here, you'll see create a course, the big red button. So you click on create a course there, and you'll see the different things you can try to look at. So if you say the marriage course is 7 weeks, there's a pre-marriage course, which is for 5 weeks, but we're interested in the marriage course for now. You click run this course, and you do all the information in there, your start dates and everything that you need. If you just want to get access to the videos, hopefully there's a little skip for now section down there, which I'm going to use. But otherwise, if you put in your start dates, you can go through everything that's in there. The location of your course. I'm technically lying because I'm in Wicklow, but let's just move on from that. And you have the option here to be able to publish your course. If you'd like to publish your course, that will be on our website to be found on Find and Alpha. People will go on and be able to find whether your marriage course is there or not. But if it's just something that you're looking to run yourself, so you can click that if you like, or you can decide that you'll do that later. You can just click that there. I'm just going to do all of this later. So there's a few questions that you can answer. So this is everything that you need to know here for your marriage course. You'll also get an email alert telling you that you have created your marriage course. So all the session videos, the 7 session videos are here. You can see them all. And as Tanya said, you can click download video. When you click download, then all the different ones. And so if you have a bad internet connection, the smaller SD ones are very helpful. If you want to blow people's minds, you have Ultra HD 4K, you know, if you're doing it. So anything that you'd like to be able to do, you can. As you said, because it's an online course, you'll have your share link option down there that you will be able to email out to people, exactly as Tanya said. There's also some promotional resources that will be in there too, digital videos, print, that you'll be able to give to people to let them know what's going on. And supporting tools is helpful. There is the Leader's Guide that's in there. We also have a copy of Leader's Guide if you need, but this is a PDF version that you need within there. You have a questionnaire for the end, and also versions of the episodes with the timings included. So if you decided that you didn't want to be worrying about pausing and trying to time it and all that kind of stuff, myself, my wife first did this. I was keeping an eye on the clock. We were trying to have the conversation and hop back in to make sure it was all going. These are versions of the videos that has everything in there, timing wise and all that kind of stuff. So you just press play and good to go. But that is everything that you need. There's also a learning center down here with some videos, how to run the marriage course. Everything that you need is there to show you exactly how you can go and do that. And that is all for free. So that is everything that you'll need to know about running the marriage course online. I'm going to hand back over to Tanya now.
Thanks, John. It really is remarkably easy. And you saw there, John was showcasing the how to run a marriage course. There's lots of training there that you can run. So you can run a video and train people on Zoom in your church. You can train your team online that way as well. So those videos are there. But just to say, which we'll always say, we're all here able to, this was a taster. It was named that for a reason, because it's just to give you, to whet your appetite, to showcase the materials and to let you see what is possible. But if you do decide to run a course, or you even want to discuss where you're at as a parish and where it might fit in your year, and how you might just plan that pastorally, as a parish or a diocese, then we're here to just advise, to help you do a bit of a take the temperature on what might work, what time of year might work well, and how that might flow for you. And we've lots of experience on finding out how your parish is set up and where it might fit. So this is a taster. Do get in touch with us, email info@alphaireland.org, and one of us will be available to maybe do a coaching call with you and just talk through the particular needs of your parish and your situation. But that's really it, John, unless you have more to add.
No, I just want to say thanks very much to everyone for joining in the call. We're really grateful to see you all. We're thankful that you took the time and had the interest in coming along. We hope that there was something in there that allowed you to be able to engage with the content, to even just be able to see the videos that are there. They're very high quality, which is great because they were just recorded recently and all that kind of thing. And just to say thank you to Ingrid and Michael and Angela. We really appreciate it coming on board, hearing for that. Also William and Tanya, who've been going great guns down there in St Matthias's too. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And yeah, if anybody has any follow-up questions or emails are in there, and we're very grateful for that. So listen, we won't take up any more of your time than is necessary. You have 2 minutes extra. You can go and make yourself that extra hot cup of tea now, and we'll go from there. But thank you all so much. We look forward to seeing you again soon.